When phones with foldable displays became a big thing a few years ago, as could be expected from bleeding-edge tech of any kind, they came with a hefty price tag. But it's been 3 years, and we're slowly starting to see that high-end tech become more relatively affordable. That's the story of this year's new Galaxy Z Flip3, a foldable phone that more people can afford. But should you go rush out to buy one? Hi, I'm MICHAELJOSH, your gadget matchmaker, helping you find the right device to match your needs. This is our Samsung Galaxy Z Flip3 review. This is the Galaxy Z Flip 3. TLDR, for those of you who don't have a lot of time, it's slightly redesigned, built with more durable materials, has a new fast 120Hz display on its inside, a larger, more usable cover screen on its outside, and it comes with a cheaper price tag. Of course, these cliff notes don't tell the full story of the Flip 3, and they don't answer the most important question. Why should you buy one? So if you're curious, keep watching. And if you haven't already, subscribe to this YouTube channel and help us reach our next milestone. Right, so I've been using the new Flip 3 for about a week now, and I'm really digging this two-tone color scheme. The black contrasts well against the cream finish, or any of the other colors for that matter, be it green or lavender. These 3 color options feature a frame and hinge that are matte and color matched to the phone. The glass have a glossy finish to them, but very much unlike last year's mirror finish, they're not a huge smudge magnet. If you want glass with a frosted matte finish, there's an all-black model also. And if you're willing to wait 3 to 5 weeks, there are Samsung.com exclusive colors: gray, white, and pink. These options are all matte with a black frame and hinge. While just about the same size, the new Flip 3 looks and feels different. The designs feature flat lines and edges, which reflect the current design trend that favors flat versus curvy. The result is a phone that looks more modern and trendy. Across all its iterations, I've always enjoyed using the Galaxy Flip. I love having to open it up, and also, occasionally, slamming it shut. And above all, I think this coolness factor is going to be the main reason to buy this phone. It's a bit retro and futuristic at the same time. Definitely the trendiest phone that you can buy today. Size, of course, is also another consideration. When folded shut, it takes up half the space of your usual candy bar phone, perfect for smaller pockets or purses. For me, that's never been an issue, but I have a lot of girlfriends who struggle with tiny pockets, or only want to carry what can fit inside a small purse. This phone solves that. Then there are the perks of this form factor. When folded at a 90-degree angle, the phone props itself up for, say, taking photos sans a tripod, or being able to lay the Flip 3 on a pile of books to take a Zoom call like you would on a laptop. Of course, a foldable phone doesn't come without its challenges. One of them is durability. While the hinge design is still the same, this time around, Samsung is using tougher aluminum. It's also using a different kind of plastic for one of the layers of the display, one that should be more forgiving to the stresses of opening and closing it a lot. Now, I can't vouch for this improved durability, only time will tell. Maybe next year when I do my Galaxy Z Flip 4 review, I'll let you know. But for what it's worth, Samsung is promising 200,000 cycles, which translates to opening and closing it 100 times a day for 5 years. On top of that, the phone is also water resistant with an IPX8 rating, thanks to the internals being coated with some sort of water-repelling protective film. Caveat, I still don't recommend going swimming with the Flip 3 for doing things like underwater photography. Look at the fine print. Water damage is not covered by your warranty. Another challenge is giving the phone some purpose while in its folded state. So the foldable display becomes more than just a gimmick. It's 2021, and when you have a folding phone, you want its outsides to be as functional as its insides. And that's the biggest improvement to come to the Flip 3. Simply put, last year's front display was too small to be useful. On the Flip 3, that's enough space for 4 lines of notifications, and you can scroll up to read more. That's also enough space to be able to compose a selfie, and enough to display the time or some other widget. Samsung has also made this cover display more usable too. For example, swipe up and you can use Samsung Pay, swipe down and you can adjust brightness or volume. Although I'd argue getting to the volume button is still easier. Actually, while we're on the topic, activating this cover display can be quite cumbersome. While you can turn on the always-on display to show you time and date continuously, and if there's an orange dot, you'll know that you have a notification, getting to the actual notification, or any of the other cover display features, requires that you double tap to wake up the display. Only after that can you swipe to the right to read your notifications, or to the left to access music controls or see the weather. I know the purpose is to prevent unnecessary taps or accidentally waking up the display, but I wish there were a better way. I'd go a bit further as to say I prefer the front screen on the Motorola Razr. It's larger and even more useful. Like, I can even load apps on this display. I'd like to see the cover display having even more functionality on the next iteration. By the way, someone asks on Instagram, can you accept calls when the phone is closed? The answer is yes. The call will show up on the cover screen, and when you swipe to accept it, it will activate the speakerphone. If you open up the phone, it will be set to speakerphone by default, so you can continue your call without interruptions. With the phone open, the Flip 3 performs just like any other high-end Samsung phone. With top-of-the-line specs like a Snapdragon 888 processor, performance will be, as expected, powerful, whether you're just using it for social or for gaming. Even the display is now a top-of-the-line 120Hz OLED panel. And now, unlike last year, you get stereo speakers too. So it's going to be good for content consumption also. One question I get asked a lot is about the crease. It's still there. Really, that's just the nature of the material and the hinge design. You can definitely feel it and see it, but it doesn't really bother me. And if you're worried about it being distracting when watching movies, don't worry, you'll barely notice it's there. Now let's talk cameras. The Galaxy Z Flip 3 has 2 on the outside, 12 megapixel wide and ultra wide angle cameras, and a 10 megapixel selfie camera beneath a punch hole on its inside. On paper, the hardware is the same as last year, meaning the same cameras and sensor were just carried over. But the good news is, because of software improvements, you can still expect a better overall picture. Of course, I have samples to prove it. I took tons of photos comparing last year's Flip with the Flip 3, and also for fun compared it to the S21 Ultra. Whether you're using the wide or ultra wide angle camera, during the day, you won't notice much of a difference, except for maybe better white balance on the Flip 3. Notice the yellower hue. You get better low light performance too on the Flip 3, and while we're comparing, this is where the S21 Ultra pulls ahead. Its camera is still the best on a Samsung phone. On top of that, the S21 Ultra also has a telephoto lens, so while the Flip 3 takes this shot, the S21 Ultra can get in much closer. There. Much better. Every year, Samsung introduces new camera features too, and the Flip 3 gets everything introduced on the S21 series. Portrait video and Pro Video mode are new. Night mode comes to the selfie camera also. And then there's single take mode, which, as my friend Grisella from BOOREDFEMME so perfectly described in her video, is great for when you're alone and want to take a few frames for Instagram. You can just prop up your phone, start posing, and then have artificial intelligence take a series of photos for you. Spoiler alert, what's most impressive is that it does a good job. You can click over here to watch her video and subscribe to her channel. I'll also put a link down below. Previously, on the original Flip, you could take photos using the tiny cover screen. You almost had to compose a shot blindly. Now, thanks to the bigger screen, you can take photos easily. Just double press on the power button to launch the camera. You can swipe down on the screen to switch between wide and ultra wide angle cameras. And then what I like to do is stick out my palm to trigger the shutter. Or you can also use the volume up or down buttons. New to the Flip 3 is the ability to also shoot video using the cover screen. From photo mode, just swipe to the left to switch to video mode and press one of the volume buttons to begin a recording. All of this is great and all, but I have one complaint. Photos and videos shot this way always come out square. Hey guys, how are you doing? Hope you're having an awesome weekend and you're enjoying this video. And I've tried to look, but there's no setting that allows you to change that, which doesn't really make sense, as using these same cameras when the phone is open gets you photos and videos with standard aspect ratios. Of course, that's probably something that Samsung can quickly fix with a software update. One more thing, this icon over here turns on cover preview, which basically lets the person you're taking photos of preview a shot as you're composing it. That way, it's like looking in a mirror to help them find the right pose. There, nailed it. The Z Flip 3 lasted about a full day with very moderate use. That for me came out to about 2 to 3 hours of screen on time. I usually charge it in the morning while I'm having breakfast, and the phone lasts till sometime in the middle of the night while I'm sleeping. But it's usually dead by the time I wake up. To be honest, that's not a lot for a heavy user like me. And while I understand the engineering challenges of being able to squeeze in a larger battery into such a tiny form factor, I would have loved if the Flip could last much longer. And to call a spade, it's definitely one of the Flip 3's biggest flaws. Top-ups aren't extra speedy either. A full charge takes about an hour and a half on average using Samsung's 25-watt USB-C charger, which doesn't come in the box. Wirelessly charging the device takes even longer. And speaking of wireless charging, if you've got extra juice to spare, you can also turn on reverse wireless charging to charge, say, your new Galaxy Buds 2 or the Galaxy Watch 4. But let's be honest, with very little battery capacity to start with, I'm never doing that, not even when on a pinch. By the way, in case it still needs to be pointed out in 2021, there is no charger included in the box. If you'd like to see a full unboxing, you can click over here to watch my live unboxing, but long story short, all you get is a phone and a cable. I guess that's a good jump off point to also talk about what other accessories are out there for the Flip 3. Apart from the 25-watt charger, which comes in white and black and can be had for $19.99, I'm really excited about Samsung's lineup of cases. There's a fancy aramid cover, a leather cover, which was similar to what I bought last year, and a clear cover. But what I really like is the new silicone cover with ring, available in a host of colors, and the new silicone cover with strap. They're both trendy and stylish and are useful because both give you a way to securely hold on to your phone. These cases are $40 a piece, and I'll put a link to them in the description box as well. So, is the Galaxy Z Flip 3 your gadget match? As always, if you own last year's Flip, the most financially responsible thing for you to do is to not upgrade, wait at least a year or two before you do so. But if you've been holding off, just waiting for the right time to snag a foldable phone, now's definitely a good time. This phone starts at about $450 cheaper than last year's model, so go ahead, take the plunge. If for you, $999 sounds affordable. There are plenty of great deals out there, so click on the link up here or down below to check it out. Now, is it worth it? I think so. For me, the Galaxy Z Flip is many things. A conversation starter, a cool and trendy gadget, a bite out of the future. As you all know, I carry an iPhone in one pocket and an Android in the other. And for most of last year, the Flip was my Android phone of choice. And this year's Flip 3 will most likely claim that coveted pocket space. It might not be perfect. Battery life for one needs some work, and cameras could be even better. But there's something about the Flip that keeps me coming back for more, and that je ne sais quoi cannot be denied. I have a feeling this is gonna be a very popular phone this year. It's definitely one worth the GadgetMatch seal of approval. And that was our Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 3 review. What do you think about this phone? Let me know in the comments section below, and while you're at it, make sure you're subscribed to this YouTube channel. We've got a lot of review videos coming up, the Galaxy Z Fold 3 and the Galaxy Watch 4 among them. Make sure that notification bell is pressed so that you get notified as soon as we upload. Follow me on social media for all the behind the scenes fun stuff. There I'm posting sample photos and my daily thoughts. And as always, make GadgetMatch.com your daily habit. Until the next video, I'm MICHAELJOSH. Thanks for dropping by.